Fala rapaziada, beleza? Boa noite, estamos voltando aí, canal do Lothen. E aí, continuação, episódio 6, guri. Episódio 6 do Dragon Age Origens, na Dificuldade PESADELO. Os outros vídeos estão aí na playlist, vocês clicarem em vídeos aí sobre aí, abrir o meu perfil no canal aí, vocês vê, tem um link para os canais também, que são meus, das plataformas. Vão poder estar acompanhando aí o conteúdo de antes, episódio 1, 2, 3 e 4 da Pesadelo. A gente tem uma playlist também na dificuldade difícil. Estamos jogando isso aqui agora no Pesadelo. Posteriormente a gente vai estar trazendo aí gameplay de Dragon Age 2 e Inquisition 3, né? Eu abri aqui, pessoal. Continua, a gente tinha parado. A gente tinha parado bem aqui. Vou ver como é que tá a transmissão aqui para vocês. Tá o áudio. Boa, tá o áudio. De boa, né? Tá ouvindo bem bom. Tá saindo legal o som aí, né? Então vamos dar então, meu povo. Vamos ver, gente, a parada aqui. Último save nosso aqui, ó. Aqui mesmo, ó. Nós já tinha pegado aqui o Zevran na equipe.
Let's get started.
Nós pegamos 2 combates, já estamos com 79 itens na bag. Eu achei que tinha acabado. Fica junto com a equipe, né, meu? Tá. Ah! Carrega aqui, gente, que deu ruim. Eu falo pra vocês que os totós são bravos, mano. Eu falo pra vocês, ó, os totós são bravos.
This should be easy.
Vai ter que estar relativamente perto mesmo pra pegar o... provocar ali, né? Perde totó, perde totó, perde totó.
This should be easy enough.
Um saco aqui.
Let's get started.
Mais totó.
You forced our hand.
Ah, resistiu. Ah, já morreu um já. Já morreu um já, gurizada. É, ainda chegou outro totó ali agora. Ah, nós tanca muito, meu, olha aí. Ai, ai, ai. Nossa, mano. Ah, que cachorrada. Bom.
On it.
Eles batem no coisa que nem louco ali, né?
Let's get started.
Ah, gente, não consigo parar o totó. Aí, tá dando certo. Aí, tá dando certo, gurizada.
Let's get started. This should be easy enough.
Begin the order. Be careful.
gurizada. Nossa, pô.
On it.
Vou pegar um branco aqui. Aí, tô me ouvindo de boa, né? Ninguém viu aí mais, né?
On it.
Tem mais ninguém vivo, gente. Ih, tá valendo sim. Pegar o resto aqui, vamos lá então, pessoal.
As you wish.
Os dog foi brabo, né? Tá numa dificuldade pesadelo, né, gente?
Finally, one.
As lutas tão meio difícil, mano.
This should be easy enough.
Vou dizer que não, então. Bem win, bicho. Bem win. Aí.
Defend yourself. All right, battle is over.
A gente tá tancando muito esse Faden, mas o resto da equipe cai, né, mano? O resto da equipe não é o Faden, né? Foi o da luta. Depois que sai o sangue. Ah, então, né? Tem nada aqui. Vamos lá. Um save aqui. Não foi barbado essa luta aí. Tá, gente. A gente veio aqui, ó, refugiados. Campo de batalha, tá? A gente não pode vir. Cara, por que a gente não pode vir aqui? Tô entendendo.
Now that we're back at the camp, I want to talk about what happened at Redcliffe. Yes, I know. I've had some time to think about it now. You killed Connor.
Ah, tá. Ai, Alistar.
How could you do that? You could have let the Arlessa sacrifice herself. Lady Isolde is the one who started all of it, isn't she? Blood magic or no, if one of them had to die, it should have been her. This is
que
the
te dá o
our
direito
son
de
we're talking
escolher.
about here. What do you think he'll say when we revive him? I just don't know how you could do it, how you could make that decision. I owe the Arl more than this. You're right, of course you're right. I'm such an ass. I should know better than to second-guess you like this. Oh, why am I getting on your back about it? You did what you had to. It's just... all this death. Never mind. Let's just stop there before I do more than shove my foot in my mouth like an idiot.
Temos o Shale agora, né, gente?
I see it found some augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is. spoil sport. I think they're lovely. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.
Ele gostou dos equipes. Vamos ver o que a gente tem de presente aqui, gente.
You have excellent taste.
A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Oh, thank you. That's... This is my mother's amulet. It has to be. But why isn't it broken? Where did you find it? Oh, the Arl study? Then he must have found the amulet after I threw it at the wall. And he repaired it and kept it. I don't understand.
Quando ele foi embora, ele jogou o amuleto na parede.
I guess you could be right. We never really talked that much. And then the way I left, thank you. I mean it. I thought I'd lost this to my own stupidity. I'll need to talk to him about this if he recovers from it. When he recovers. I wish I'd had this a long time ago. Did you remember me mentioning it? Wow. I'm more used to people not really listening when I go on about this. I don't know what to say. I'm honored. Thanks again.
Tá honrado, nosso amigo.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Interesting.
You have excellent taste.
No, bad idea.
Flowers? Thank you. They're very pretty. These were her favorite. I haven't seen these in such a long time. They smell just like Mother used to. Thank you. Thank you so much for remembering.
E aí, mais uma habilidade. Conseguimos o presente que a gente dropou. Pera aí, gurizada. Qual agora? Yeah.
You called. I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell. I am told no others survived. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand. Perhaps. I searched for it, and when that failed I asked my rescuers what had become of it. They said they found me with nothing. I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down. Do your people have no souls as we know them? Convenient for you. That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was set into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath. If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now. Near Lake Calenhad. Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
Nova missão. Localizar a espada de Sten. Sten lhe revelou a razão por ele ter entrado em fúria e matado os fazendeiros. Ele acordou sem sua espada. E os Beresad têm muita consideração pelas suas espadas e não se desvencilham dela até a morte. A ideia de que a sua espada possa estar perdida levou Sten a uma loucura insana. Você disse a Sten que tentaria encontrar a espada. Localizar a espada de Sten. O que vocês acham, gente? A gente tem um monte de side quest pra fazer. Do flagelo nós temos que é a da urna. Modelo pro seu povo, que é ajudar o povo de Osamar, lá os anões. Natureza da fera, conseguir a recuperação dos clãs dos Valelfos. Círculo quebrado é o círculo dos magos lá. Conseguir a ajuda deles daí também. Já vamos ver aqui qual que... preferir. Jason, Denerim, Thomas, tendo 2 congelados. Olha, gente, esse lago Kellen é perto da onde o Sten perdeu a espada. A gente podia ir lá dar uma olhada, né? E já que nós vamos lá, a gente leva ele junto daí, né? Nosso amiguinho. O Cutuzão. Ah, ele é boca brava, né? O range. Conhecimento. Entregue 4 cartas de condolência. 100 viúvas. Tá no próximo ao lago Karen. Irene em penhasco vermelho. Tânia. Sara e Tânia em Denerim. O que vocês acham, chat? Vamos atrás da espada do Sten, né? Pô, não vamos deixar o cara... O cara falou que propósito da vida dele tá junto com a espada, então dá o irmãozinho, né? Bora, chat. Vamos ver. Tá, o que o resto do pessoal vai falar, então. Criando, a gente já falou.
Here I am.
Rapaz aqui.
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead. Well, the crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training. The sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is the desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field. Within the crows, I did. But it has been something the crows have devoted a great deal of time to perfecting. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler. See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Of course, the crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we? Here I am. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead. Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Farellen. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes. It is fine enough with its dogs and its mud. The people are spirited, even if they can't tell the difference between an assassin and a mere killer. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable? Oh, I have never seen that place. I am sure it has its charms, and its dogs. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else. Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in the store window. Finest Antivan leather. Perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no? True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a handsome Grey Warden? A man who then spares my life? I could not. Perhaps that was a poor choice of words. True, though it is. Do you object? and glad I am to hear it. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
Tá, eu quero ver se tu não vai ensinar. Aqui, ó.
Oh, I certainly could, but I won't. I swore to the crows that the things they taught me were to remain a secret. And while, yes, they are already angry at me, I'd rather not push things, you see. You would order me to betray my solemn oaths? What an unexpected turn of events. Sadly, the answer is still no. Come now, you don't need this training. You seem to be able to slay things simply by staring at them hard enough. If you are truly insistent, well, let me think about it. The crows are already angry at me, yes? Who knows?
Perícia adquirida. Ah, tá. Achei que era bagulho pra eles aprender a ser assassino também. Uma estrela, falta só a Morgan. Vamos ver os equipes deles daí, né? Né, gente? Bora, chat.
It's cold in my tent, all alone. So you shall come to my tent? But whatever shall we do in that tiny little space together while we wait for it to warm?
Ó, a Morgan se vazando.
Good. Then let us waste no more time with foolish talk.
Que curte.
I see the stories they tell of Grey Warden endurance are not exaggerated. Indeed there are. The unanswered question, of course, is whether the endurance exists because of the taint within you, or because the Grey Wardens are by nature so very healthy. I enjoy the thought that 'tis a little of both. Natural prowess, driven by a darker side.
Depois eu pego.
That is entirely up to you. Simply know that I have no designs on your independence. I wish only to do what I desire, and if that coincides with what you desire, then so be it. And should you decide not to continue our misadventure, then so be it. Very simple, is it not? Oh, now you ruin the mood by speaking profanities. Silly man. Come then, let us be off before the others begin to stare.
Nova habilidade, proeza. A bruxa enlouqueceu. É porque consegui as proezas com eles também, gente. Eles são aliados. Cada aliado dá uma proeza. Que é as conquistas, no caso aqui, né? As conquistas dentro do jogo. Acho que nós devíamos estar usando o arco com ela, que eu tava olhando aqui agora, ó. Requer força e a destreza é o arco. Vamos deixar esse arco equipado nela e guardar aquilo ali. Essas flechas de gelo equipadas também. Duas adaguinhas nela. Vamos deixar ela assim. Vou ver isso aqui agora, gente. Ah, ó, isso aqui é legal. Fica legal pra ela. Que seja força, olha, não. Vai ficar só o armor aqui. Os escudos, traje, capuz. Meu totó.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road. dark spawn? What? That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. I'm...
Vamos vender isso aí, gurizada. Dá uma esvaziada aí na bag.
Something you need? I'm sure you'll...
O que ele tem pra vender pra nós? Nós estamos com 51 moedas. Esse cara tem 2 tomos. Este tomo concede ao leitor um ponto para gastar em um talento ou feitiço. Este tomo consegue talento ou feitiço, só que esse aqui é restrito para mago. Esse aqui é pra nós. Tomo da técnica. Qualquer um. Ah, cara, eu tô bem afim de pegar. Temos um aqui, ó, da perícia já. Não usamos ainda. Ai, gurizada. Dúvida cruel. Dá um save aí, vamos lá. Ver o que a gente vai fazer.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Por que não dá pra fazer essas aqui? Será que eu tinha que ter feito antes? Não creio. Vou meter essa da caravana, vamos ver. Seis pontos, eu vou dar nenhum. Tem alguém que sobreviver isso? Tá, né? Dois pontos. Para resoluto do guerreiro com seu segundo para dano. Respeito mental, bem como aumenta ao número de inimigos acima de 2 que o guerreiro estiver enfrentando. Tem um aqui passiva também. O personagem aprendeu a usar armas de 2 mãos mais efetivamente, reduzindo as penalidades para ataque e defesa. O personagem é um adepto tanto em destruição quanto em mortes e ganha um grande bônus de dano contra golems e outros monstros. Eu aqui, né? A gente pega as... Deixa eu... fazer isso aí. Agora. Ah, coisa muda, né, filho? De 14 vai pra 21. Isso não é problema, papá. Ele tá usando indomável e... tá indomável.
Won't take long.
Achei que ia ter treta aqui. Aqui não vai ter, né?
Rough travels out here, eh? We even saw Darkspawn on the way in. We're delivering a message to the Chantry in Denerim. You? We saw a blood mage down near the Brazilian forest. We're off to tell the Chantry about him. I thought you said... Wait. You're serious? I suppose that's all right. As long as it gets there. Stay safe.
Você localizou os aventureiros e colocou testemunhos questionáveis. Retorne à cooperativa dos magos para receber a tua recompensa. Eu precisei matar eles. Pra persuadir só. Um monte de gente aqui.
Let's get started.
Yeah.
On it.
Ah, esses loucos me macumbando. Ah, eu tô enfeitiçadão. Ih! Ah, olha aí, gente. Nossa, totalmente macumbado. Ah, o cara tá usando as armas erradas ainda. Ah, tava tudo errado, gente. Ainda deu certo, ainda só, né? Deu um dano aqui com ele já. Deixa eu passar pra cá, já. Tá escuro. Ah, tá louco que tunda, meu. Entendi.
Right.
Quem que eu levo comigo? Não, peraí. Peraí.
The Blight. How will you end it? Is that all? It is surrounded by an ocean of darkspawn. How will you reach it? If you reach it, how will you slay it? You say you are a Grey Warden. I have heard stories of this order. Great strategists and peerless warriors. That is what we hear of the Wardens. So far, I am not impressed. Will you make that excuse to the Archdemon, or the victims it claims in the meantime?
Nice. So...
Let's get started.
Eu quero ver o mapa. Não. Pera aí. Quero ver o mapa. Onde é que eu vou ir? Vamos ali naquele vilarejo do abrigo ali. E lá nós vamos levar essas...
Yes.
Leva ele, olha.
Indeed.
Leva arqueiro ou leva o ladino?
Blood and damnation.
Yes.
Levar o ladino pra dar uma brincada, né? Ah, gente, vamos aqui, ó. Aqui é o Lago Kellend, ó. Ah, não, é ali, ó.
Yes.
Vai.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Lá o Lago Kellend, gente. Totozinho é brabo, gente. Meu chapéu. Tá, se eu não peguei o água de todos, eu peguei o água de boa parte, gente. Nosso amigo ali. Ih, ele tá mal. Cura ele, mulher. Salva ele, mulher. Vou mudar isso aqui. Aqui pra tomar marrom. Eu que derrubou ele, né? Eu tô sem habilidade aqui. Parte. Eu ia pegar o água de todos, mas é que ele tava com a ameaçada ativada ali. Alguém subiu de nível. Acho que foi a Morgan.
Right. Let's get started. Let's get started.
Mas aqui vai pegar os dois passivos depois, né? Vocês acham que nós devemos pegar? Agora não. Agilos. Categoria 7, resistiu. Dano de 15%. É dia frio. Esse aqui é bom também. De dano de espírito, chance de paralisar. Mesma pegada com o outro, só o outro dá um pouco mais de dano. Verdade. Galerinha, tá curtindo? Tá com o dedo em seguir aí, meu povo. Bah, que pauleiro isso aqui, hein? Os totozinhos são bravos, mano. O Stein não aguentou ali o tranco ali. Vamos dar um EP nele. Bah! Esse aqui não é perito em armadilha, né, meu? É Liliane. Todo mundo pisou aí, ó. Vamos lá. Lilian vai fazer falta ela, mano. Bah. Vamos seguir lá, ver se a gente consegue pegar a missão da espada do Stein, mano. Por isso que a gente tá trazendo ele pro lago. Do lago Kelled.
Back off! I was here first.
Ó o tio. Ó, você não viu uma espada no chão por aí?
What's
tá
it to
fazendo?
you? I wasn't bothering nobody, and I was here first. They're mine. Not literally, you understand. They're not my bodies. I mean, I only got one, and I'm not dead or nothing. But I was here first. All right, if it'll make you leave my spot quicker. Dunno, could have been Darkspawn. Probably was. Could have been bandits, though. Doesn't matter, really. They're just as dead no matter what did it. Now, how much would that bit of information be worth to you?
Calma, moeda de ouro é muita coisa, filho. Vamos ver se vai valer a
A
pena.
sovereign? Sure, that'll do. I knew the guy who was here before me. He sold me this spot. Said he found giants and all kind of crazy valuables. He didn't mention that he'd taken everything but the bones and the dirt already. His name's Ferrin. Squirrely little bastard, if you ask me. Which you didn't, but I said it anyway. No, that's some freeholder or other. He just sold me the looting rights. I'm not building a house here or nothing. He was going to Orzammar, he said. I imagine he's gotten there by now. If you find him, tell him I sent you. It'll scare the piss out of him. This spot...
Ah, não! Gente... Vamos ver essa missão aqui. A espada de tempo está nas mãos de Ferrin, o catador. O campo de batalha apareceu. Ah, beleza. A espada já não tava quando o Sten tava aqui. Não tá de boa. Eu achei que ele não tinha dado informação, gente. Eu tava tentando pegar o máximo de informação possível, né? Antes de perguntar sobre a espada pra ele. Eu saí do mapa.
The good thing about mages, I find, is that they die much like any other. You just need to worry about what happens before that.
How very fitting that they would build a prison for mages in the middle of
Vamos levar uma maga pra falar com o Templário.
You're not
Né?
looking to get across to the tower, are you? Because I have strict orders not to let anyone pass. Oh, you're a Grey Warden, are you? Prove it.
Mostra os documentos, gente.
Yes? Oh, a Grey Warden seal. Aha! So you're claiming to be one of those. You know, I have some documents too. They say I'm the Queen of Antiva. What do you think of that? Kill some Darkspawn. Come on, let's see some righteous Grey Wardening. Aha! Oh, I knew it. I bet you can't even sense them. A real Grey Warden is supposed to be able to sense Darkspawn. Touchy, aren't we? Why don't you go away and I won't bother you anymore? Sound fair? Anyway, it was nice chatting with you. Now, on your way, right now, go.
Vou lidar com você depois. Vamos ver o que tem aqui. Esse cara é o cara que vai fazer a travessia. Nós não queremos atravessar agora mesmo, chat. Então vamos ver qual é que é. Qual é que é desses marcos? O tamanho de Samuel desertor.
Yes? Oh? What was this about? Oh, I see. Tauren must have sent you. I refuse to answer to a pawn of Tauren. Come, men, to arms!
Bora. Falta eu, falta eu que vocês estão perdidos aí. O Peyton tá tancando demais, mano. Ó, o bicho tá tancando demais, chat. Estamos no pesadelo aí, ó. Tancando muito, velho. Olho dos talentos, certo, gente. Eu vou ele tancar forte sem estar usando habilidade nenhuma, praticamente. Mas não foi dos desertores. Tô apertando tá pra não perder nada, né, gente?
Take this. You've earned it.
A gente tinha completado a missão, né? Dos magos lá antes. Já. Arquivo dos magos. Deve ter mais missão. Locais de poder. Notificação de desistência. Assassino do teu irmão. Os piores temores concretizados. Agora que está realizado. Opção santuário. Isso aí, né?
Why, bless myself. What's a distinguished personage like yourself doing here? Of course someone does. Me. I'm the ferryman. Leastwise, I used to be. Poor old Kester. Out of a job. I don't got a clue. They wouldn't tell me. Gregor just came down and said, "Don't you worry, Kester, we got it all under control, we do." Didn't say nothing else. And then he puts Carol in charge of my boat. Lissy, named for my grandmum she was. I told you, they didn't tell me nothing. And if I know they're mages, I'm better off keeping out of their business. If I had to guess, I'd guess it had to do with magic, but the tower's always got something to do with magic. You could try swimming, but I don't recommend it. Nasty things in that lake. I reckon it's all them potions they dump in there. Gregor's told me to stay here till it blows over, but I'm telling you, some storms don't blow over easy. Maybe you could at that. I'm sure your mind's all afire now, eh? I reckon it's good for them mages. Gather them all, learn them some proper magic. I know what they say about mages, but the Maker made them for a purpose. If you can't trust him, who can you trust? Oh, I can't say that. I'm lucky he's good enough to give me the time of day. The first enchanter's all right. He's polite as can be, but he's always a little distant, if you get my drift. But Gregor'll stay to talk. I reckon he likes hearing from... He's a man to be respected, that Gregor. All right. Keep safe, you hear?
Útil. Atualizada. Viaja até a floresta. Tem mais um grupo de bruxos. Ah, tá. Operativo dos... Vamos ir depois. Teve aqui, gente. Vamos ver o que nos aguarda aqui. Chat, tem que pegar o celular aqui, despertar o carregador. Segundo, já tô com o carregador na mão. Eita. Vamos ver aqui, gurizada. Meu amigo. Chegou o dia do teste da tua responsabilidade como ladino da equipe.
This won't take long.
Não passou. Não passou no teste. Ah, daí tu me quebra. Ah, daí tu me quebra, tio. Tu não tem nada, tio. Mas tu te larga da equipe. Como é que eu vou abrir os baús? Não. Ah, o cara não tem nenhum ponto em pé. E lá, velho. Vai ter que upar um monte, velho. Ah. Sem a maga não dá pra ficar. O Sten é o cara da missão. Vai ter que sair, velho. Nessa... né? O que eu vou fazer, gurizada? Vou pegar uns tomos pra ele. Olha a diferença. Olha a diferença. Perspicácia da guria. Fala de prato, uma carta de amor, meu amigo. 30 de experiência, não pode ficar pra trás. Aqui. Laranja.
Yes. All right. Let me take a look. No, I can't believe this. I won't.
Pode ser atualizado. Peguei suspeito.
What are you looking at? Can a man drink in peace?
Já vamos ver já.
Good day, and welcome to the Spoiled Princess. Is there something I can get for you?
Princesa mimada. Olha o nome do boteco do tio. Pra começar, né?
What would you like?
O drink que o tio tem pra oferecer. Gostei. Bastante poção, bomba, poção, lírio. Flávio. O som. Fogo frio e armadura. Uma moeda, gente. Verdade. Uma moeda e meia, né? Moeda e meia. Vale. Mais 3 por Tem que fazer um agora. Vamos ver o que tá. Pois tem sim.
Welcome back to the Spoiled Princess. How may I serve you today? Of course not. Why do you ask? No, I haven't seen any knights. Why would I be nervous? Listen, the person you're looking for isn't here. You should be on your way as soon as possible. They're watching me. I can't speak openly. Don't around and keep your voice down. They're looking for anyone asking for this brother Genitivi. They told me to act like nothing's wrong and just deny ever having seen the brother or the knights. I don't know. You should be on your guard and leave quickly. I don't know what happened to the knights, but I doubt it was anything good. Goodbye, and make her turn his gaze on you.
Leave me alone. What are you looking at? Can a man drink in peace?
Não fala mais nada?
Welcome back to the Spoiled Princess. How may I serve you today?
Ó. fora. Líder. Inimigos à frente. Vamos avançar com ele. Não vai provocar. Tomei um cacete. Bom. Alguém mata ele. Ah, deu ruim. Achei que ia ter como. Vamos com um tapa de cada um. Caiu o nosso tanque, mano. Tomou um cacete. Tomou um cacete. Ver se ele fala alguma coisa agora.
Hey, come to see how old Kester's doing, eh? Oh, I can't. He's a man to be respected, that Gregor. Talk to him a time or two. He's all right.
Aí, gente. E a espada do cara. Medo. Ah, tá indo pra Osamar, provavelmente tá lá. Tá. Aí a gente tem essa. Se a gente for pra Osamar, a gente vai começar a campanha lá de Osamar, né? A da urna pra nós fazer agora. Vocês acham, chat? Segundinho. Vocês acham um pouco? Tá, temos favores a certos grupos também que a gente tem umas missões lá na floresta da Selim. Eu tive até as casas. Eu acho que nós vamos pra usar mar então, gente. Valeu, né?
This spot is mine. Find your own.
E a equipe pra fazer a campanha dos anões. Cara, eu queria levar o Ladino, só que é o seguinte, meu, o cara não tá... Não tem nada de conta. E abrir os bagulho, mano, tá ligado? Não tem como isso sem a maga, né, gente?
Yes.
Sem a maga fica punk, né? Fica sem cura daí. Dá pra não levar ela e ela precisa upar, tá ligado? Dá pra fazer, gente, dá pra levar. Ah, que dúvida cruel agora, gente. Como é que o cara não tem bagulho de abrir, né?
Yes.
Vocês acham que vale a pena levar ele, que ele logo upa? Porque na real, mano, pra ir pra lá, não preciso levar o Steiner. Nós vamos pegar a espada, mas não precisamos levar ele, eu acho. Porque lá, gente, depois quando eu descer, eu vou ter que trocar os... E depois que eu começar a campanha lá, né? Eu tenho que escolher aqui os personagens que eu vou ir pra lá e jogar lá a campanha inteira, tá ligado? Dá pra levar dois ladinos. Levar o Stein ou ele, tá ligado? Na real, nessa campanha a gente vai ele, cara. Não vai nenhum. Faz. Ah, vou precisar de muitas. Lá, né, cara? Ação alta disso, tá ligado? Os baús de lá. Não, hein, gente. Vale levar ele. Mas é que depois ele vai ficar inútil se a gente não botar isso aqui também nele, tá ligado? Vamos levar ele. Lá então. Vamos pra lá então, chat. Logo ele já pega o primeiro nível dele também, a gente já põe já. Boa. Tô pensando numa coisa, gente. Se a gente levar ela Ele vai upando junto com ele. Por que pra distribuir a gente não tinha levado ele, né, gente? Equipe meio. Ou não? Ele não tinha como pra distribuir, né? Nível 10. Não, mas ele tô alto.
Pigeon crap.
Yes.
Vashadan, yes.
What?
Enemy!
Meu chapéu, gente. Nossa, gente. Tenho certeza que a gente vai passar muito trabalho aqui nos Zamar, mano. Nossa, muito trabalho. As lutas aqui são punk. Bora. Bora. Vamos carregar. Ela derrubar ela.
Are we descending into the underground? Thought of so much rock over one's head is disquieting.
I have contracts.
Civil War,
They can't
what will
shut us
happen
out
to
like
us?
this.
What business would the mighty Grey Wardens have with a man like me? Whatever you say. Yes? Oh? What was this about? I worried this might happen. I hoped it wouldn't be you who came for me. I have no choice. Forgive me, Warden, but I cannot go back with you.
As you wish.
Pronto, ó. Escondido aí. Tá escondido.
Is it true Grey Wardens killed Ferelden's king?
Step right up, friend, and have a look at the finest selection of almost new armor and weaponry east of Orlais. Yes, well, I don't like to brag, but I've got some fine things here. Almost straight from the Royal Armoury. Only took a slight detour on the way. Canary? I'm afraid I don't know the word. All those. I had one, but I sold it already. A collector. I can't go telling you all about my paying customers. One, it's not ethical, and two, it's bad for business. A lot of my customers are sensitive types. They don't want their personal business related to every stranger who happens along. If I'd known he was still breathing, I would have used a knife. I mean, I'd have been more careful. Redcliffe. The guy who bought it lives in Redcliffe. He's a collector. A dwarf named Dwin, I think. I don't want any trouble. If you see that giant, tell him I don't have it, would you? I don't, I swear. Well, he's the proud owner of your giant sword. If you'll excuse me, I have this sudden urge to pack. I've told you what I know. If you'll excuse me, I've had quite enough stress over this. Oh, certainly.
E 40 de...
I've told you what I know.
Vermelho a espada dele.
What can I do for you? This ought to be interesting. Such diction. This man is a true scholar and rhetorician. I am honored to be fired by one such as he. Good day.
They have to open the gate. My suppliers will think I cheated them.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant. Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzamar's lifeline. The Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use... Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown. Twice a year, I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see it. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember. Best of luck.
O que vocês acham? Vamos meter do... Ele terminar ali? Ah, bem, qual é que é da espada, né? Antes. A espada do Sten. Pegar ele.
Pigeon crab.
Yes.
Vamos ver a ladaia. O cara com a espada dele de volta, né? Pô, por que tão longe do vilarejo?
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
Maker's blessings upon you, Warden.
Capela, né?
Yes.
Indeed.
Diplomática. Saúde.
Phew, some fight. Reminds me why I left Orzammar in the first place. Hey, anything for Redcliffe, right? Whatever. First thing I'm gonna do is get some sleep. For about a week. Go celebrate or whatever it is you're gonna do. You won, right? You're a hero. Or something. Go celebrate or whatever you have to do. Now, why would you be interested in that?
It's mine.
You know, Farron didn't mention the giant he took it from was alive. Excellent idea. It's in my strongbox. Here's the key. Now, why don't you leave me alone?
Strange. I had almost forgotten it. Completion. Are you sure you are a Grey Warden? I think you must be an Ashkari to find a single lost blade in a country at war. I will return to the Arishok with my report. But it would be a much more thorough and satisfying answer to his question if the Blight were ended first. Don't you agree? Then lead the way.
Aí. É, né? É isso, né? Mais 12, tipo. Tanque também, gente. Não, hein? Não, se essa espada aqui é AD. Tá, é, para os... Tal. Subiu de nível? Não? Tá bem armado agora, nossa. Tá com a espada dele, né? Olha com a espada dele. Ele gosta.
Fast and damnation. Indeed.
Yes.
Yes. Braska.
Eu vou mais por dentro.
Anyone speaking against the Queen and arrest them.
King Lothen will not...
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Lothen demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Iduken returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Lothen.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Lothen, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden. I will at that. I'm a messenger of King Lothen.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
Será que nós estamos? Ei.
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find.
A
trust Vala, Warden.
If there is anything complimentary to be said about these people, it is that they possess a remarkable facility
As you wish.
for carving stone. Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't
I
want to
trust
be like...
Vala, Warden.
Don't say that.
I have a question for you, Chef. How does it feel to be a giant statue?
What a bizarre question. How else would it feel?
Well, let's see. Does it hurt? Do you feel like you've been buried under a pile of rock? Or do you feel not... nothing at all?
I haven't...
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Eita. Estranha. Eita.
Let's get started.
Vieta, surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here. They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter. See, that's why I don't want you surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is... Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin... Personal battles for honor and ancestor. I don't expect... If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot. Well enough, as I've said. Spend your coin if you... Yeah.
Where did they put all...
Aqui no comando principal. Vai com duro e
Or the rock, I wonder.
This should be easy enough.
Welcome to Jannar Family Armors.
I must say, you look like our type of people. Looking for a new set of mail. At Genar's, we have everything from leather to platinum. I stay out of politics. It's not good for a smith to get the... Lord Harrowmont's a fair man. My father... But the Idukins have served us well. If it is the ancestors' wisdom to keep them on the throne, I cannot object. Aye, for 100 generations. But, I'm guessing by your face, you're... Of course...
Nada de tudo. Poxa. Caro, pá. A lojinha do ali.
Ancestor. Although I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Rak. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way. You're asking what I would pay for your services? But wait, I saved his shield, the masterpiece my husband Smith. I was saving it for Ruxford. If someone were to find my son or his body, they can have the shield with my blessing. How? There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself. A warden. So you could do it. Only... Oh, thank you.
Don't get your hopes up. We could search the deep roads for decades.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
I do not even want to think from what manner of substance a cave...
A brawl would be a pleasant diversion, right?
Atrust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you? With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported wines, we should be able to serve your needs. I have an award-winning honey mead. Surface family ships it down here every month. Only 1.5 silvers a mug. One honey mead coming right up. I hear you spoke to Lord Harrowmont. He's a good man. Puts Orzamar's needs above his own. Well, I have other customers to see too, if you need any... Did you need something else, Warden? With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported... Someone's feeling generous. A round of Valen... This, my friend, is the paragon of ales. The best are my...
Afternoon, stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew? Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit. Yourself? Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live.
I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs. Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. Getting more crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow, and we're not the only ones. Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost tigers. Looking for signs of Branka, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after. Branka was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the deep roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter. I
told him I don't Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed... You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? But there are those like you who see this with concern, no? Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's... They're not fond of my views on equality. Badly. Oh, you're serious? Then the warriors, your caste is determined by that of your same as you. I wasn't expecting you back. I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter, and his Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But your caste is determined by that.
They're everywhere! What? Get away! You'll change like the rest. Monsters hidden in all my friends. They follow you. Once you are in the story, they possess your friends and follow. See? I found copies. All from the same pen and older than the ones in song. Dormant my arse. Take them. I want out. I won't disappear chasing a lie. I won't.
I'm coming! Hold on!
E era isso aí. Peraí, caiu meu fone.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for. Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not. Can't find ore without splitting some The Assembly has done us a favor. They've shown just how loose the sand is under it. Orzammar will decide what we can or can't be. There will be topsiders left for trade. There's no end to you. I'll take your...
Ai, bobo. Com mais pontos para gastar nos atributos. Tá com de ouro.
Like to buy something, I hope.
Maker's blessing on you, brother. Ah, I'm Brother Burkle.
Even in the very bowels...
And that is... I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. The Shaper... I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting. The Shaper of Memories controls the Shaperate. They track the births and lineage of every dwarf born in the city, every property sale, death in battle, marriage, or divorce. Oh, I can see. Please, let me know as...
Beleza. Oh, por aqui, ó.
Aha! I smell a seedy underbelly. What's and all?
Opa!
Rich wood.
Right.
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform. Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity. Especially for someone with a few connections above ground. No offense, but your kings have some laws that don't make sense in a practical kind of world. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium, the sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got one man named Godwin. He's expecting a delivery of his stone's weight. You want an investment opportunity? I could see fit to, say, sell you that lyrium instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee. You haggle like a merchant born. Deal. Here's the lyrium, then. You, probably don't want to take it out of the box. I'll be waiting for the next order somewhere out of sight. Say, just around the corner.
Oh. It doesn't have better things to do. I like to think of them as accessories. I suspect that it is an art that was practiced when golems were more, commonplace. My former master collected whatever lore he could find on the subject. He searched far and wide to collect what crystals he could and then added them. It is not an unpleasant sensation. As I understand it, the crystals allow me to alter the flow of magic around me. Wilhelm had hoped to turn me into a battery of mana, something he could tap at will. Not really, although now that I think of it, these attempts may be what caused my disruption. Some of the crystals increase the presence of mana, some absorb or reflect spells. There are various kinds. All I can promise is that should it ever find one of these crystals, I can likely tell it the function and what it would do if added to me. Why not? I don't get to wear clothing and other adornments like the rest of you creatures after all. That answers its question, I assume? Unless it has more. Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the Mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Gollum snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it. I traveled with the mage. He did a lot of traveling, I remember that. But where we went, it is rather fuzzy. I remember great battles, fighting many humans long ago. They were all very soft and squishy. And before that, no, there are only images. I was somewhere dark. I have no idea. Wilhelm used to brag that the dwarves stopped making golems centuries ago. I do not age as you soft creatures do. Sadly, my memory is no better. Plus, I get bored and stop paying attention. He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much, his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it? Hag. That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag. Humph! I was once larger, 10 feet tall. Then the loathsome hag complained that I couldn't fit through the doors. So the mage had me shrunk down. Can it believe it? And she still wanted me out. With a chisel and a lot of nerve. I'd have happily stomped them all into paste, and then ripped down their little houses and stomped on them, too. In fact, after 30 years of watching them, I'd do it twice. What I didn't like was being ordered to do it. Dangled in front of those frightened morons like some scary thing. Once I was a statue, it took those villagers years before they'd even approach me. The first one to actually work up the nerve to touch me urinated himself. Ugh. Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it?
direito. Moeda de
What are you looking for? We got nothing to buy for the likes of you. Or maybe you wanted to sell. Of course. On it.
I've thought about your predicament, my friend.
It has thought of a way to lure birds out of the sky?
I mean, your situation. Being made of stone.
Oh, that. Merely reflecting on the hopeless nature of the task in front of it. The most likely outcome is that it and its companions will become a stain on some rock for the Darkspawn to tread upon. I shall be moved to a single tear by the tragedy. Oh, how adorable, such hope. What's that? Did it hear flapping wings? It doesn't have better things to do. I do not sleep, so yes, and I thank. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it. Oh, yes. It certainly was the height of intrigue to listen to the accounts of how young Dornan had scandalized the village, and the argument that those two muddy farms... And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out. Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds because they thought having... If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care.
Enchantment?
shiny. I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them. Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that is just... Oh, then that must be it. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless. It is quite welcome. Now, let us crush something. It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do. Oh, how interesting. Certainly I remember having a master. My memories of what happened to him are vague. Clever and true. Oh, my former master enjoyed experimenting upon me. I remember that much. There was tinkering with spells and... Bah! I am no mage, and he did not explain himself to me. He possessed my control rod, and back then, it would have prevented me from doing anything. So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting, and then... nothing. There was... pain. I do not feel it as soft creatures do. And then he was gone. I was standing where I was, in the village, and I could no longer move. The villagers came, poked and prodded me in fear, and then realized they could neither move me nor destroy me. So they simply left me. And in time, I forgot I hadn't stood there all along. In fact, at first, I found it more of a risk. For so many years, I'd had to leap to that little toadstool's every command. The gall! At first, I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed, an acceptable trade-off. After years passed, I simply stopped caring. I think I was ready to move on. Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless. And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, it is nothing to fear from me. Much. And now it knows, and doesn't it? Let us get back.
Right.
Yes.
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 Indeed.
Hey, come to see how old Kester's doing, eh?
Leave me alone. Welcome back to the Spoiled Princess. How may I serve you?
Não era aqui, povo. Agora. É dentro do círculo. Vai nisso. Água. Aqui, ó.
you wish.
Privada, nós vamos encerrar a live. Amanhã a gente volta. Amanhã a gente volta. Quem curtiu aí a live, faz um jeito. Dá uma força pra nós. Amanhã nós vamos curtir o conteúdo do Amar. É nóis, rapaziada. Boa noite. Valeu. Se quiser ver aí os episódios aí, só que canal aí vai ter os playlist ao vivo. Agora, rapaziada, então, esse